So welcome, fearless climbers. It's so good to see you. Last session, we talked about the 6 business systems, and now we're going to start getting into more of a deep dive on those different systems. And so I really appreciate the feedback that I've received from some of you about what topics you want me to focus on. And so we're going to kind of move around depending on what more feedback I get. But right now we're going to talk about customer avatars and kind of the confidence in yourself in sales and how to move through a system. And then we're going to continue that conversation over the next few sessions. So it's too much information to pack into 1 hour. So we're going to try to piece it out for you so that you have actionable items. Your online program, you can log into your Kajabi login and you will have the recording of the session and the worksheets that go with the session every time. So be sure to if you haven't logged into your online account yet, be sure to do that so you can have access to the recording, but more importantly, the downloads of the worksheets so that you can actually implement into your business the things that we talk about in our session. So super important for you to take action on what you learn. So let's get started. So wherever you are on the journey on your fearless climb, whether you're kind of in that yellow zone, you're just getting started and you're excited and you just have so many ideas, but you just need clarity around what your next steps are, or you're kind of been going for a little bit and you're feeling stressed out because you need some systems, you need help, or you don't know how to get clients, those kind of things. All of those problems are solved by being strategic and putting systems in place. And that's the purpose of our Launch 101 group coaching. So there are 3 steps to creating your profitable, enjoyable business. The first step is to level up. That's what you guys are doing here today. So great job showing up. And the second step is to slow down. And I know that that sounds counterintuitive, but putting systems into place takes a little bit of time, a little bit of thinking through. And eventually, though, what that does for you is it enables you to delegate, to get the help you need, to be very focused and clear about where your efforts are so that you can really enjoy the business and not just be constantly working way too hard on it. I'm not saying you don't have to work hard, but more systems you have in place, you'll be working on more leadership type things as opposed to the day-to-day kind of administrative stuff. And then the third step is just make more money, right? More profit in your pocket. That's the ultimate goal. So those are the steps. I'm so glad you're here today. And the benefit of joining live is that you get to ask questions. So the recordings will be there for you, but show up live because I'd love to answer your questions. I sometimes I pause through the training and have a chance to have that conversation, but always write your questions down as I'm talking so that at the end we have a little time to go over those. And I also want you to know is you don't have to restrict your questions to just the topics that we're talking about in a particular session. You can pretty much bring any of your business questions to the table. So I'm happy to help, and that's part of what I want to do here with you today as well. All right, so let's start by getting to know each other a little bit. The other purpose of this is to create some community, maybe some networking happening, not just here in the live sessions, but also in our Facebook group. And so we'll just go because I want to be sure to get lots of training in for you and question time. Let's just be real brief about our introductions here, but I would like everybody to get to know each other. So just your name, the name of your business, and one way that you serve your clients. And if you don't have any clients yet, that's okay. What would you imagine? How would you imagine that you would serve your clients? So that's okay too. Some of you are just don't even have a client yet. You're just an idea of a business. That's awesome too. All right. So Crystal, may I ask you to unmute and share?
Hi, my name is Crystal Para, and the name of my business is Crystal Clear Virtual Assistant. And one way I serve my clients is by doing those little tasks that maybe they don't have time to do. So I help keep them organized and staying on track.
Fantastic. Thanks, Crystal. Ayami.
Okay, there we go. My name is Ayami Hirashigi. The name of my business is AMH Consulting. I help my clients by basically translating social media for them and educating them on social media.
Awesome. Thank you, Ayami. And Renee.
I'm Renee Lorch, and my business is in the kind of the brainstorming stages. So I'm not sold on a name yet, but one way that I want to serve my clients is I want to be able to provide therapy and support and trainings for those affected by neurocognitive diseases, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, and caregivers. Virtual in a virtual platform.
Fantastic. Thank you, Renee.
Mhm.
Elise.
Hey, my name's Elise, and I don't have a name for my business yet, but I was thinking Ellie's Airbnb. The way that I want to serve my client is just to offer clean household, comfortable, and one that's nearby fishing spots, local restaurants, anything that could really brighten your spirits and your vacation.
Nice. Thanks, Elise. Stephanie. I call you Steph.
Hi, everyone. My name's Stephanie Mann. Caitlin and I are business partners. The name of our business is Evergreen Consulting. And we are also in the early brainstorming phases of our business. But one way we are looking to serve clients is with social media support, branding, website design, things like that, just to create a visual story around people's businesses.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie. Caitlin, get to follow up your partner.
Well, I'm Caitlin. I am the other half of Evergreen Consulting. And like Stephanie said, it's pretty early days right now, but I think our goal is to help our clients kind of narrow down their vision a little bit and help bring it to life for them, maybe in the creative ways that they haven't thought of yet.
Awesome. Thank you. Zach?
Hello, everybody. My name is Zach Altenberg, and the name of my business is Zach the Trainer. So I'm an online personal trainer, and I serve my clients with custom strength training and one-to-one support delivered through a user-friendly app.
Awesome. Thanks, Zach. Jill?
Hi, my name is Jill Wick, and I'm a civil engineer turned skincare engineer with Rodan & Fields, and I help people get the best skin of their lives.
Love it. I always remember that tagline. That is so awesome. Hi, Monica.
Hi there. My name is Monica Brown. I'm with Freeman Human Resource Management, and you'll hear from the owner soon. Deshante's here. And one way we service our clients is that we help them stay compliant with all the legal and other HR laws and requirements.
Yeah, good deal. Thank you, Monica. Deshante, you get to follow your partner.
Yes, I'm Deshante with Freeman Human Resource Management. One way that we service our clients is by creating customized HR solutions that are tailored to our clients' needs.
Nice, thank you. And Heather.
Hi, everyone. Great to be here. I am Heather Chi, and my business is Heather Chi, Pinterest Manager and Strategist. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. We pretty much all have probably heard of Pinterest, but there's an exciting part of Pinterest I'm helping business owners to realize: setting up Pinterest profile for your business. So creating visual graphics that help generate traffic and leads directly to your website and products.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, everybody. Sylvia, we will come back to you when you're not driving. We'll let you introduce yourself a little bit later, so just be safe. All right. So again, thank you.
Hi, Kathleen. I'm home.
Oh, perfect. All right, Sylvia.
I am, and I'm trying to log in with my computer. But while I do that, I'll just share. Hi, everyone. I'm Sylvia Adler. And my business, I'm an integrated nutrition health coach. The name of my business is Smart Health by Sylvia. And how I help my clients is to help them understand that by changing a few basic things, they can improve their health dramatically. And one of the main ones is breath. I'm a certified breath coach. So I think that's what you asked. I was driving and I was trying to pay attention. So is that
That's
it?
exactly what I asked. Thank you, Sylvia. Experienced networker there. Awesome. All right. Well, glad to have you all here again. Just a brief about me. I think y'all pretty much know me, but I'm Kathleen, and I'm certified high performance coach, certified business made simple coach, and I've written a leadership book. So I love to teach people what I know, like you, help you get started and get successful businesses. It's just my passion. So I'm so honored that you're joining me today. So like I mentioned, we are going to be over all of our Launch 101 sessions, really talking about these 6 key business systems: the leadership, finance, management, marketing, sales, and service. We're not going to go in order. We're going to pick on what things I'm hearing from you are most important to you. So please keep letting me know what your priorities are. But today, what we're going to start with is talking about sales and marketing. So we're only going to hit a piece of that, but we will, and Sylvia's coming in the other side. Let me grab that. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is how scary sales is for everybody. There's not one person that I've ever heard say, oh my gosh, sales, that doesn't scare me at all. That's not a worry. And it's really comes, so we start sales with the leadership category. And we need to move from a place of feeling vulnerable and timid to a place of confidence and influence. And so that's where we're going to start today. So I'm going to share with you some principles of sales skills that hopefully will move you from that place of kind of nervousness to a place of real confidence. There's systems to put in place behind this, but here's the concepts. So the number one first rule of sales skills is that you are not selling. You're not selling. You're serving, you're helping, you're educating, and you're providing valuable solutions to people's problems. When you are confident you can help people and believe it would be egregious not to help that person in need, you believe in the value of what you have to offer. And that is the first mindset shift and the first rule of sales skills. The second rule of sales skills is you talk good. LOL. But the idea is that you know what you're saying. You have a real clear marketing message. So you know exactly who needs your help and how they feel without your help. And you know exactly what you have to offer and how they will feel with your help. So your marketing message is very clear about you're moving them from point A to point B. And so we're actually there's a worksheet that we're going to talk about today that will help you think in that direction on how to move people from one point A to point B. That's influence, helping people see what's possible. The third rule of sales skills is slow down and relax. So many times we're feeling pressured of, I got to make the sale. I got to make the money. I got to close it right now. But really it's about building a relationship. And when you're building relationships, it's not like you meet somebody and you get married tomorrow, right? In a personal relationship, the relationship takes time to be nurtured. So you want to start with curiosity, which these social media people here understand that. You're building curiosity first. And once they're curious, then you can find that way to connect with them. And then that connection leads to opportunities to develop that relationship, to add value into their life, for them to get to know you. And then you can sell them something. Now, obviously, if they're just buying dog treats, maybe you don't need that process to be quite as long. But you look at somebody like a Tom's Shoes or something like that, what they're doing is they're connecting with you at a relationship level. They're just shoes, but they've connected with you at a relationship level. So this can be done. It's not just with services that have more long drawn out, like lead and sales processes. In a short time, you can connect in this way as well. And the fourth rule of sales is that you constantly improve. So you pay attention to what's happening in your industry and you try scary things. You got to be scared and you got to do it scared. And then you learn from your successes and your flops. I don't like the word failure because failure implies that you're not going to get back up off the ground and do something again. It's just a learning opportunity. And then based on all of that information, you're able to update your target market, your marketing message, your sales process, your sales systems, and even possibly the things that you're offering. So you need to continue to adapt, not only as the market changes, but as you yourself change as a business owner, how your business grows, the company culture and the things that you learn, the way you learn and grow. So hopefully that helps you shift a little in mindset about sales. And so now let's talk a little bit about marketing message. So that's really the first step. Once you've got your mindset right, then you want to start thinking about the other people. And so we showed this slide in the first overview of the 6 systems. The marketing message is not about, look at me. You want to get that curiosity and get their attention, but it's really the message itself is about, I hear you. And so how do you develop that message? That's the hard part. You can know this is the way to do it, but how do you develop the message? That's the harder part. So the first worksheet that you're going to have in your portal is called a customer avatar worksheet. And so I'm going to break down the different sections for you now so that when you're completing that on your own, you'll have some idea how to fill in the boxes to help develop clarity around who you're selling to. And what I'd like to encourage you to do is pick 1 or 2 people only. Now you may be able to say, I sell to everybody. Everybody can use what I have. Everybody needs to be more fit or, go on a vacation and stay at an Airbnb. Everybody could be eligible to do that. But when you have that kind of message, you attract nobody. So you want to focus in on 1 or 2 people that you really want to message to. Now, if those people need the same products and services, then that works. If they need completely different things, then what I would recommend is you start with the messaging for one kind of person, and then you can always add messaging, separate web pages, or whatever it is to market to that secondary person, add products and services later. When you're starting a business, it's so easy to say, well, I can do these 10 things for people, but really you just want to narrow it down to just a few things for people and focus your message on those few things and that 1 or 2 persons that you really can create a message around. So the top of the customer avatar worksheet is obvious. So you're going to make up their name. So this can be a real person in your mind. And if somebody that you know really fits the bill, then maybe just use their name. But a lot of times we don't actually know that person yet. And so we need to just make up a name so that we can just say, oh yes, this marketing message is for Susie Smith and this one is for Johnny Jones or whatever. Then you kind of, it almost becomes like it can be a company thing where everybody knows who Susie Smith is. And so everybody talks about Susie Smith. Yeah, this message is for that person. And so you start with a pretend name and then you fill in the blanks on who this person is. What's an age range? What gender? Does it really matter? Maybe not. Are they married or not? Do they have some children or not? Where do they live? What's their occupation, job title, income, education? Just some basic demographics about this person and just fill it in. So I know it's going to be difficult to narrow this down, but the more narrow you can make it, the better the message will be. And you'll see as we go along in the worksheet how this is going to matter. Also, what are some of their goals and values in life? Do they love to golf? Do they love to travel? What are some hobbies? What are just in general, what is some more information about them? So the more clear you could be about this person, the more clear your message can become. Then the next piece of the customer avatar is related to the problems that they have. So this is understanding their mindset. This is really more important than making up their name. So spend a lot of time here. You'll see on the worksheet, there's blanks that you can fill in. So the external problems is what they tell you they need. And it's very surface level. So they might say to you, like when I was a QuickBooks Pro advisor, a bookkeeper, they would say to me, I need to get this to my tax preparer. I've got to get these taxes done. Okay, that's their external problem, why they're coming to you. But there are internal frustrations and emotions that if you're ignoring that, it's hard to make that connection with them. So internally, what they're feeling is, I'm in that situation. For me, what I found is I'm really embarrassed that I haven't kept this up. I've tried to do this myself and I've screwed it up. And, I'm even embarrassed because once you look at the numbers, you're going to see that I don't make as much money as I tell everybody or pretend I do. There was so much emotion. And so it was really important when I first connected with those clients to come in very soft and not, non-judgmental is maybe the way to say it. So when you're attuned into what their emotions are, then you can come into that relationship in an empathetic way that builds trust with that person and creates that relationship. And sometimes a great way to connect with people is with their vision, like what their why is for their business, or also kind of what they're fighting against. Like it's not fair, something might not be fair in the world. Maybe they started their business because it's not fair that, people don't know how to ski. I don't know, whatever. So there's, you can connect with them. What are some visions that they have for their life? Why would they want their bookkeeping done? Well, if they do their bookkeeping, then they can understand what their finances are, and that will help them have a stable business and make good business decisions to grow their business. So if their vision is to have a thriving business, then that's part of what I can connect to with them as a bookkeeper, for example. So those are some things that when you're filling out the customer avatar worksheet, you want to be thinking about from their point of view. All of this is from their point of view. The other piece of the customer avatar worksheet is about where they get their information. So sources of information. So where do they hang out? Either in person or online? Do they hang out at the golf course? Do they hang out at a religious place? Do they hang out on Facebook? Or are you more likely to find them on LinkedIn or Twitter? So where do you find these people? Are they networkers? Are they bowlers? Whatever it is. So where can you find these people? Because you could be putting ads out all day long in the wrong place. Maybe you're putting ads in a magazine, a local magazine, and nobody that connects with you is ever reading a magazine. So you want to think about where they hang out so that you can connect with them in those places. And then the other thing I want you to think about with this avatar is who are they in the decision-making process? So you may say that, I'm thinking about Deshante and Monica for HR, for example. You may say that, gosh, a lot of companies that we work with have some kind of internal admin assistant, executive assistant, internal HR, payroll, bookkeeper, or whatever, and they're the ones that the boss targeted to say, go out and find HR support. And so they're calling around and you're talking to the admin person, but that's not the decision maker. So you want to be sure if the person that you want to capture the attention of is the admin person who's really feeling the pain, you need to know that when you're in that sales process that they're not actually also the decision maker. And so you want to be sure you're including the decision makers in that sales process somehow, thinking about how to integrate that. So you connect first with that admin assistant and then somehow involve that decision maker. So it's really important to understand the role. The other thing is there's a lot of businesses that are partnerships. So you can do a sales pitch to the wife or the partner, and then the other partner or spouse isn't there, and they're going to go try to sell to their partner. You're going to have a lot less success. So you want to have both of those partners in the sales conversation at the same time. So they're both hearing it directly from you, and you can address any concerns or objections at the same time, and you're all on the same page. So role, it sounds minor, but it's really huge. Okay, let's talk about objections. So think about in advance what some of the objections might be. Oh, that price is too high. Oh, well, I don't really see that I need that. I've gotten to buy this long without it. boy, I don't really understand how Pinterest could possibly help me. So what do you need to do to answer those objections? And how can you, if you think in advance about what those objections are and actually write them down with what kind of answer you would give, then you will be prepared when they come up. And then if you get one that you weren't prepared for, okay, iterate now, learn from that, write that down on your list. And the other thing that I want to encourage all of you to be thinking about while you're writing this up, like for example, with the objections, is whatever system you create in your business, you want to create it for somebody else to do too. So at some point, you're going to have a salesperson making these calls because you guys are going to grow your businesses. You're going to be awesome. And you're going to have somebody helping you with these sales calls. And they need to know what the objections are and how to answer them. And the only way to do that is for you to start documenting that now and writing down how you respond now. The other piece that I want to mention on objections is the method in which you respond to those objections. So we always want to make someone feel heard and acknowledged. So the first thing is agree or somehow empathize or acknowledge what they've said. And then the second step is to answer honestly, but kind of quickly. Like you don't have to get into the weeds on this with a lot of detail. I'm going to give you an example in a minute. And then the last thing is ask an open-ended question that shifts away from the objection. So for example, I had someone one time that I was on a call with who, as a business coach, and that the man said to me, oh yeah, I had a business coach before and it was a horrible experience. He was just horrible to me. And so, okay, well, I could have just, okay, gosh, sorry, I guess you don't like business coaching, and just let it go from there. But that's not what I did because I followed this procedure. So I just said, oh my gosh, that sounds like you had a terrible experience. So I empathized, I agreed. I didn't argue with him like, well, it probably was you, guy. I didn't say that, right? We don't go there. But then I answered, I am different from many business coaches. I have a unique personality and a unique system. So I'm hoping or thinking that I could provide something different for you and a better experience. And then in this case, I actually wanted to hear about his experience. I don't necessarily always recommend diving into it. Sometimes you can just say, so I'd love to hear more about your business. That's a good transition off of the objection that they brought up in that moment. So can you tell me more about your business? That would be an example of an open-ended question. In this case, though, I wanted to understand the challenges that he had because I needed to understand the objections that he was going to bring up with me. Like whatever experience he had with this guy, that's still going to be an objection. And I don't know what those objections are yet. So he said something, so I said, could you tell me a little bit more about that experience you had with him? I'd like to know what the challenges were. And then he elaborated, and then I was able to answer those objections. So sometimes you have to go a little deeper, but not typically. Typically, you can just say a question like, I'd like to hear, can you just tell me more about your business? All right. So then in the customer avatars, the next section of the worksheet is what services or products do you offer that specifically address the problems that you identified earlier in the worksheet? So how do you fix their internal or their external problems, their specific business or personal problem? Their internal problems, how do you address their emotional concerns? And their why, their purpose, or their it's not fair feeling? How do you address that? So those are all the things that you want to think about when you're thinking about your customer avatar. And so we're going to get into a customer worksheet, another worksheet in a minute, but I'd love to take questions. If you have any questions about the avatar worksheet, I'd be happy to take those questions right now.
Kathleen, is that worksheet on the website? Because I'm not finding it. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place.
No, you're in the right place, Jill. I post everything after the session. So thank you for asking that question. That's a great question. So I'll post the recording and open up with the worksheets as well, Jill. Thank you.
Kathleen,
Sylvia.
I have a quick question. So with our years of BNI mindset, are we necessarily just talking about the end user, or the person who is going to be the constant source of referrals to the end user?
That's a great question, Sylvia. So when she's talking about BNI, that's a networking group that we're in. And a lot of times we look for people who are power partners to us. So for example, a CPA, a tax preparer could be a great partnership with a bookkeeper, a power partner, so they can refer business to each other. So Sylvia, this is fantastic. So your regular marketing message is going to be your end user, your customers. But you are absolutely right that you can use this exact same system to be able to explain what you do with a power partner, a potential power partner. So if you're about to go pitch a CPA and you're a bookkeeper and you want that person to partner with you, this is great. So you're thinking about what their needs are. You know, what would the CPA want? Why would they want to give me a referral? You know, how does that benefit them? So you're thinking about their needs. Any kind of influence, anytime you want to influence somebody, you want to sit down first and understand what's in it for them so that you can speak to that and create a win-win situation. I've used that technique in a lot of negotiations and for promotions, for raises, all sorts of opportunities. Influence is the same thing every time. You need to think about the other person's point of view and your point of view and try to find a way to serve them as well as get what you want at the same time. Great question. Thank you, Sylvia. Any other questions? Okay, awesome. So let's go to the next worksheet, which is the customer message worksheet. And actually, I want to thank Elise because she pointed me to a YouTube video that helped me create this particular worksheet. So I will post a link to that YouTube video in the online portal so that you guys can watch this too. But what's interesting about this is the video, the YouTube video was actually about someone who was giving a formula for creating a presentation. But what I determined from that, my takeaway from that, not only is it good for presentations, but it's great for blogs, but it's also great for creating a message here, a marketing message. It's a very good, like, basic template for creating a message to connect with potential customers, to get leads, to get the attention of your leads. So you want to just start with what do they want and why are they asking for it? Just real straightforward. What is it? So it's again, what are their problems? But it's getting very much more specific, narrowing down to just one. Now you may do multiple ones of these for each of your customer avatars because maybe they have multiple problems, but pick one problem and then detail it out here so that you can really nail down what you want to say about a particular offer that you have for them. So for example, I did one about networking, actually, a blog on networking. So if I was trying to, if my job was to get people, and it kind of is because I'm the president of my BNI chapter. So one of my jobs is to help bring people into BNI. And so what does that potential person that I want to bring into BNI, or for you, what does your customer want? But here's an example for networking. What they want is to make more money by getting more leads and referrals. They don't want to show up every week at a networking meeting. That's not what they want. If I tell them, come to my meeting and show up every week, they don't want to do that. Who wants to do that? I don't even want to do that, but I do it. Because why? Because I want to make more money by getting more leads and referrals. But they might be in a networking group already or have been in the past. So I'm kind of speaking to an objection here. Well, I've been in networking in the past. Why my networking efforts didn't get me any results? I spent all that time and I didn't get leads or referrals. And so now you get to answer address what they want and answer that question or that concern or that objection they have. So the worksheet takes it through 4 steps. But the idea, again, is to move people in influence, move them from point A to point B in influence and sales and marketing, whatever it is, move them from point A to point B. So before and after, where are they now? And where do you want them to be after they've heard your message? And then what would the message be? So this is what this worksheet is for. So we're going to talk about 4 different sections of this worksheet. What do they know now? What do they believe now? What do they feel now? And what are they doing now? And what do you want them to know, believe, feel, and do after your message? All right. So I'm going to show you an example so it makes sense for you. Okay, so it's still the same example of networking. So let's just look at the know part. So I think what people know about networking is it's a way business owners get leads. But I would like them to know after my blog, after my marketing message, that networking done properly results in qualified referrals for business owners. So there's a difference between just throwing leads at each other and giving each other qualified referrals and really focusing on that. So that's something that I would help them change the way they know, something they know about networking. And when they shift their mindset, my goal is to lead them to a success in a networking organization. But this is the first shift that they have to make in their mindset. Then the second thing is what they believe. So somebody who maybe doesn't know networking or has not succeeded in the past, I think they believe networking is meeting lots of people to sell to. So my mindset shift for them is networking is an intentional process for developing trust and goodwill in business relationships. So this is what I was telling you before. It's slowing it down. We're not trying to sell fast to people. We're slowing down and building relationships, sales, networking, all of this, marketing. So the other area that we want to focus on is how they're feeling. So I'm thinking that this person I'm speaking to is feeling frustrated by their lack of immediate results. And so my goal is to help them feel more confident that results will come when the process is followed consistently. And I can say from experience, this is 100% true in BNI. They have an amazing process. So there's lots of great networking organizations in there. I've just been in BNI for a very long time. So I believe in their process. So follow the process and results will come. And that's the same thing for your business too. Just do what you can do every day. Follow the process step by step. Believe the results will come. And then let's talk about do. So what do I think these people are currently doing? Showing up at lots of meetings, asking for business, and then ignoring everyone afterwards, right? They're just, when we were meeting live, they're just throwing business cards everywhere and coming at you with the big sales pitch and then disappearing. So what I want them to believe afterwards is that they can learn and consistently apply a 5-step process that was in my blog, or it can be in your sales pitch. Follow my 5 steps process to success in Pinterest or whatever, Facebook, whatever that is. That's what you want them to know then, that you are now the authority that can help them get to the place that they want to get. You can help them do what's necessary, but you have to make mindset shifts first to get them to be receptive to the change in the doing. So any questions about the customer message worksheet? Sylvia. Sorry, Heather, you're next.
I need to speak a lot today, apparently.
Love it.
So looking at this, it's a lot clearer for me to be able to fill that out for the hospice work that I've been doing for 7 years. I know exactly how to answer that. For my own business that I'm creating now, I find that a little bit more difficult to answer. So how do I go about that?
Yeah, another great question. Thank you, Sylvia. In both of my businesses, my customer avatar changed within 6 months. So you start with something, just start with something. And then you start getting out there and you start seeing who's attracted to you, who you love working with. I mean, try to start with that anyway. Work with people you love to work with. Don't force something. When I first started coaching, I had some people were saying, you really need to work with huge businesses because you make so much more money. I love working with small businesses, startup businesses. That's where my heart is. I was trying to force something that wasn't comfortable for me and didn't make me happy. When I shifted to this, that's when things started. When I shifted to working with people like you, that's when everything shifted for me. So make sure that you start with people you love. Think about those people first, the ones you really have a heart for helping and serving. That'll make it easier, but it's okay to change your customer avatar a few times in the first few years. And first couple years, you'll see it won't, after 2 years, you'll be in a groove. Yeah. Thanks, Heather.
And I just wanted to comment and say, wow, how effective. Like, it completely, just seeing this before and after in action with an actionable like example. It's just so easy to follow. So I absolutely just want to say I love that. This has been super effective.
Oh, I'm so glad, Heather. You know what I'll do is I'll put the example out in the online portal too. That probably help if you see something pre-filled in. I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That triggering that thought in my head. Love it. Love the ideas. Any other questions, anyone? All right. And then just remember, I love questions. Please be sure to bring them to me. And not only that, it's not just that I love them, but every single person in the group benefits by your questions. So there literally are no dumb questions because we've all started at nothing. So we're all in this together, gals and guys, for sure. All right. So the last piece that I want to mention in this is that I want to make sure that you are always thinking call to action, CTA, call to action. You're going to see CTA everywhere on everything I give you guys. And even if it doesn't, like, this is almost premature to bring this up right now, but I want to bring it up anyway, because I'm going to just say it all the time. So call to action is you're telling them what is the very next step you want the curious person to do, to take, to connect with you, to develop the relationship. The very next step, not 10 steps. So first call me, and then we'll have a discovery call, and then we'll do a session, and then you'll pay me money, and then you'll see. Don't go there. Just contact me button, or book a discovery call, 15 minutes, or download my free ebook. Watch this complimentary pre-recorded webinar. Click here to get your checklist today. That's capturing emails. Anytime you're capturing something, whether it's their email, their phone number, well, yes, either one of those. Name two, but those are the two things you want. Capture their email, phone number. Email's best, really, because you're going to continue to nurture that relationship with email value, giving them value. And so you want something, you need to give them value to get value. And that email, especially today, people hold on to their emails because they know what spam looks like. And then when you do finally email them, make sure it's got lots of value in it. Give them, and I don't mean lots of content because they won't read lots of content. I mean concise content that gives them lots of value. So that's what I mean by that. We're going to have a session that'll talk more about that. But I just want to bring up call to action, call to action. So always think about call to action. What is it that you want them to do at the end of a call, a discovery call, a sales call, an email, at the end of your emails? What do you want them to do at the end of your networking pitch? What do you want them to do? What's the one thing you want? Just one thing, simple, concise. So I just want to remind everybody to be sure to connect with everybody on our Facebook group called the Fearless Business Group. And then also go to the online portal at my website, thefearlessclimb.com. There's a sign in button. You can sign in. And also you can download the Kajabi app on your phone and log in there. So you can rewatch the videos and whatever you need to do right from the convenience of your phone as well. Same exact content. And if you haven't done so yet, I would encourage you to, if you weren't with us last week, be sure to watch that first video recording of the key 6 business systems. That'll give you the foundation that you need to move forward in the program and understand as we're picking the pieces out now and training on those individual pieces. And then I am going to provide some accountability. This is coaching. This isn't just training. This is coaching. So there's some accountability here. So I am going to ask you each week to complete the worksheets and email them to me. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not punishing you if you don't do it. But the reason I'm asking you to do that is because sometimes when you know someone is waiting for it, it gets you to do it. And I know for a fact that if you stay here and just listen to me, your business, it's not going to impact your business the way doing the work will impact your business. And I'm here to help you succeed. So if you haven't already completed the 6 key business systems questionnaire in the first session, then please do that. Download it, fill it out, and email that to me. And also just include the 5 topics that you're eager to learn, because like I mentioned, I'm trying to make this something that is useful for you in the struggles that you're experiencing right this minute. Want to make it very relevant. And then also, I'd like to ask you, please, after every session, there will be an online assessment. It's like, I think 4 questions that are real quick. And just if you'll do that assessment and just provide feedback, don't be mean, right? But be constructive. I know you're not mean people, but I love your constructive feedback and what you liked also, so that I can continue to adapt and adjust and make this the best program for all of you. And this week, the worksheets will be the customer results worksheet and the customer avatar worksheet. And actually, I changed the name of that worksheet after I did the slide. So it's not results, it's whatever I said it was in the video. So the worksheets that are in the online program, those are the 2 things for this session I'd like you to do, and email those to me as well at Kathleen@thefearlessclimb.com. And then be sure to add to your calendar. Our next session is April 1st from 4 to 5 p.m. We meet on the 1st and 3rd Thursday of every month. So if you could put that recurring on your calendar, just save that spot. That would be fantastic, because I love having the conversations with you guys and answering questions. It's so helpful to all of us to be here live whenever you can. And then the other thing I want to mention is we're going to have a new Zoom meeting number every month. So in April, we'll have a new number for both of those sessions. I won't change it every single session, but monthly I'll change the session numbers. So just so you know, watch for those emails. And also the Zoom ID number is in the portal too. So if you can't find my email, you can log into the portal and it's in there in the welcome section. Okay, thank you, Fearless Climbers. It was so great to see you all. I appreciate you. And thank you for being here. Reach out to me if you have any questions or need anything.